Morning everybody, welcome to today's session. I hope you had a nice day yesterday. Let's get started. So we'll start off with our head stretches that we've been doing all week. So we're going to tip our head over to the side, take one arm across the head and then reach the other arm away. You can't do this one standing or kneeling if you're more comfortable that way. So just stretching down the side of the neck. Coming back to the centre, we're swapping sides, tipping over. Take the hand over, reach the other arm away. One more time on each side, we're tipping over. Take the arm across, reaching the arm away. I can't remember if I did this side. Let's go one more time for luck. Reaching away. Good, from here we're going to go into our breathing exercises. So you're going to lay on your back, with your knees bent, feet on the floor. We want that nice neutral position, so you've got a slight curve under the lower back. And just taking the arms, down beside you. So you should be looking up towards the ceiling. And we're just going to take nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through a pursed lip. Breathing in and out. So as you're taking nice deep breaths in and out, I want you to think about the position of your hips. So you're trying to keep them nice and level. Imagine you've got a torch on each hip bone and they're shining up parallel to one another onto the ceiling. We're keeping the upper body nice and relaxed. So the shoulders are away from the ears, the chest is nice and open. We're keeping the weight evenly placed to our feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. And just gently tightening in the tummy. The next time that you breathe out, I want you to tuck the pelvis under. So you're flattening your lower back into the mat. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to release out to neutral. We're tucking under to flatten. Holding there. Releasing out to neutral. So as you're tucking under, you'll find that nice strong flat back position. Using your tummy muscles and your pelvis to move. So try and avoid squeezing your bottom. On On this next one, we're holding our flat backs. You're tucking under to hold. So holding this flat back position, we're going to start to tighten in the pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, we're going to be tightening all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Exhale to tighten. Inhale to release. So you're thinking of the sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. As you're tightening, you should feel as though your tummy muscles are working harder. Your back is slightly flatter into the floor. We're going to halve this contraction. Excuse me. So 50% tightening in the pelvic floor as you exhale. Inhale to release. So we're still keeping the upper body nice and relaxed. Shoulders away from the ears. Chest is nice and open. So if you are feeling really tense, we're just going to turn those palms up towards the ceiling. That's just going to help to open up through the chest. You're pulling your tummy all the way down towards your spine. Keeping the weight even through the feet. Big toe, little toe and heel. We're going to half one last time, so 20 to 25% tightening. This should feel like a very gentle lifting, something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. So your flat back position should feel nice and strong. You're using your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor to help you to stay there. We're going to lift both legs up into a tabletop position. So your knees will be above your hips and your shins are parallel to the ceiling. Now I want you to glue those legs together. As you breathe out, you're tipping both legs over to the side, releasing one hip from the floor. Inhale to the center, we're swapping sides, tipping over, releasing that hip. Back to the center, tipping over, and center, tipping over, and center. So as you're tipping over to the side, although one hip is releasing, try and keep both shoulders in contact with your mat. Using your tummy muscles to take the legs over to the side. Come back into the center where you're finding that flat back. Use your pelvic floor. And then tipping over onto the other side. Nice deep breaths. Let's take 2 more on each side. We're going to tip over and centre. Tipping over and centre. One more time on each side. We're tipping over and centre. Tipping over and centre. From there you're hugging those knees into your chest. Take a little rock from side to side if you need to. And from there we're going to be on our hands and knees for our stretch in our back. So we're going to be taking our hands under our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. So tummies are nice and tightened. As you breathe out, I want you to tuck the pelvis under so you're starting to curve through the back. Arching the spine. Dropping the head, we hold. Releasing out through the spine. Piece by piece. To lift the head. Tucking under to curve. Arching the spine. Dropping the head, we hold. Releasing out. Piece by piece through the spine. And lifting the head. So we want to get lots of movement through the back. We're working into each section piece by piece. So if you do have any stiff or sore areas, we're just slowing them down. Taking your time to move through each section of your back, vertebrae by vertebrae. So as you're curving your back, and you're pulling the tummy all the way in, as you release to your start position, let those shoulders come away from the ears. Let's take 2 more here, tucking under to curve. Arching the spine. Dropping the head, we hold. Releasing out. Lifting the head, last one. Tucking under. Curving the back. Dropping the head, we hold. Releasing out through the spine. And lifting the head. We're going to push back into a shell stretch. So bottom to the feet. Reaching those arms out long. And then we're going on to our sides. So our chest opening stretch. So taking those knees, bent legs together, arms are long, palm to palm. Just rest that head down. Remember, you can use a pillow if you need to. So we're going to lift our top arm up so that your fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you and twist away from your body. Holding here to take a nice long stretch. Before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. The top arm lifts, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you. We're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So we want to keep both legs glued together and grounded. So you're getting this nice twist through the waist. Deep breaths. Reaching the arm nice and long from the fingertips all the way into your armpit. We're looking at that hand for as long as we can. Keeping a good range of movement through the neck. We're trying to really open up the chest as you hold that stretch. We've got 2 more on this side. We're lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. We're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. Last one, lifting up. Fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you. Twisting away, we hold. Come back up and over. Coming down palm to palm. So from here we're swapping sides. So you can either roll over to face the other way or change the end of the mat that you're laying on. Okay, so same position. Knees are bent. Arms are nice and long, palm to palm. Excuse me. We're lifting that top arm up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away. We hold. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. Top arm lifts, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. Twisting away, we hold. Before lifting up and over. To come down palm to palm. So remember, those legs are glued together. Making sure that the twist is going through your waist. Stretching the arm, reach from the fingertips all the way into your armpits. So you're opening up through the chest here. We're looking at this hand for as long as we can. So getting a nice movement through the head. We're going to take 2 more here. So we're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. We're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before we lift back up and over. To come down palm to palm. Last one, we're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you. We're twisting away. Holding here for your stretch. Before lifting back up and over. Coming down palm to palm. We're going to take a nice full body stretch here. You can roll onto your back if you prefer. The next movement is on our back, but grab yourself a drink if you need one. So if you're laying on your back, you want to take those knees bent, feet on the floor, and find a neutral position. So you should have that slight curve under your back that we had at the beginning that you can get your hand underneath. Just have your arms resting down beside you to begin with. So you're looking up towards the ceiling here. We're going to take a nice deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift those shoulders from the floor, reaching the arms nice and long. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down. Chin to chest. We're lifting up. We hold. Control back down. So you're using your tummy muscles to lift you. You're pulling that belly button all the way down. Using your chin to chest position to relax that neck. So we're thinking nice big nod of the head, then get this tummy tightened to lift you. We hold, control back down. Use the reaching of your arms to get those shoulders away from the ears. Nice deep breaths. Use your pelvic floor. We've got two more here, then we'll change those legs. Chin to chest. Lifting up. We hold. Control back down. Last one here, chin to chest. Lifting up. We hold. Control back down. So we're going to be lifting one foot from the floor. If I put both of my hands on my thighs, you shouldn't be able to see that much more of this hand than this hand because your thighs are staying in line. It doesn't matter here if that leg is straight or if it's bent, as long as your thighs are in line and the foot is off of the floor. So from here, we're going to take a nice deep breath in to nod the head. You're going to exhale to lift, breathe in to hold. As you exhale to come down, your leg stays where it is, but your upper body goes down. Chin to chest, lifting up. We hold, control back down. You can support your head with your hands here if you need to. But remember, those hands are on the head and not the neck. So we still want that chin to chest position, relaxing that neck and the shoulders. Tummy's nice and tightened. Get those shoulders away from the ears. We'll take two more on this side, chin to chest, lifting up. We hold. Control back down, this is the last one. Chin to chest, lifting up. We hold. Control back down, pop that foot on the floor. You're swapping sides. So your other leg is going to lift off of the floor, keeping those thighs in line. Nod that head. Lifting the shoulders up, we hold. Control back down. chin to chest, lifting up, holding, control back down. So remember that tummy is tightened. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And relaxing that neck. We've got 2 more here, chin to chest. Lifting up. We hold. Control back down. This is your last one, chin to chest. Lifting up. We hold. Control back down. From there, just hug those knees into your chest. And then we're going to be going either onto our knees or our fronts. Grab a drink if you need one. This is where I shimmy forward so I don't cut off my head. So, if your knees don't agree with you bearing weight on them, if they get a bit sore from you kneeling, then you can lay on your front and go into chest lifts with your legs longer behind you and your hands mat width apart and in line with your ears. If you're okay with kneeling and bearing weight there, then you're going to be knelt up nice and tall. Keep those knees quite close together under your hips. If you suffer from cramp in your lower legs, tuck those toes under. If not, just resting down. So you want to make sure that your chest is nice and open. Arms just resting down beside you. Try and keep those shoulders down. So you want to keep this tummy nice and tightened the whole time that you're moving. So really pulling that belly button in. Just slightly tuck your chin in. As you breathe in, tummy's tightened, we're leaning away. Exhale, squeeze your bottom. Lifting up. Leaning away. Squeeze and lift. Leaning away. And lift. So it doesn't matter how big or small these leans are. I really want this tummy to be tightened. Squeezing the bottom to give you that drive to lift. Relaxing those shoulders. Let's take 2 more here, then we'll change the arms. Inhale back. Exhale to lift. Last one. Inhale back. Exhale to lift. So from here, whether you're laying on your front or you're kneeling, we're going to come into a shoulder roll. So from here, you're going to take a nice big roll of the shoulders and the arms will reach away. Hopefully you can see that on me on the camera. Really reach away as you're leaning back. Still tighten this tummy. Squeeze that bottom. Relax the arms. So you can make this lean back smaller if you want to. Lean those shoulders, roll those shoulders back, leaning away. Squeeze to lift. So the tummy should work the whole time. Don't worry if you mess that breathing up. You might start just breathing as and when you need to. Try to get that exhale on the way up because it will help. 2 more here, nice big roll back. Reach and lean. Squeeze and lift. Last one, roll the shoulders back. Reach and lean. Squeeze and lift. From here, whichever movement you've been doing, we're coming into our shell stretch position. I'll just get on my mat to protect those knees. So remember, bottom towards the feet. Arms are reaching forward. So just stretch out for as long as you need to. Grab yourself a drink if you'd like one. And then we're going to be going onto our backs for the 100. So if you're already laying on your back, we just want to be in a flattened position. For now, just take your knees bent, feet on the floor while I explain what we're doing. Excuse me, if you joined in any other classes throughout the week, then the 100 is the same that we've been doing. But if not, it doesn't matter, I'm going to talk you through. So from here, you want to have that flat back position. So you're tucking the pelvis under, sinking into the ground. Bring your legs to tabletop. So get your knees above your hips and your shins parallel to the ceiling. If you want to make that harder, then start to take your legs at a diagonal angle towards the floor. So starting to lean them downwards. Keeping your flat back and keeping those shins facing the ceiling. If that's too confusing, or you're not able to do that, just stay in that boxed angular shape. From there, we're going to be nodding the head, lifting the shoulders with the arms nice and long. Your palms are beginning facing the floor, but we're rotating them. I'm, on most days this week, have completely forgotten to begin with to rotate them. So if I do that, just carry on without me. So as you breathe in, your palms will face the floor. As you breathe out, they're going to face the ceiling, and so on. It's the same amount, exactly the same breathing. I'll count it for you. From there, we're going to take those hands behind the head. So you're supporting the head, keep that nodded position. We're going into 2 sets of 8, sitting up towards those legs. Then from there, we're going to take the legs lengthened. So it doesn't matter if you need to keep some bend through your knees here. Your legs are as long as you can maintain them. Reaching the arms up, we're going into reaches up towards those toes. Again for 2 sets of 8. Then we relax and we'll take a stretch. So we'll see how we go and we'll go all together. Find that nice strong flat back position. And when you're ready, lift those legs up just into tabletop for now. Then we're going to nod the head and lift the shoulders, reaching the arms nice and long. Palms start facing the ground. As we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying here, your hands are behind your head. We're going into sit-ups for 8, 7, 6, 5. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more. 8, 7, 6. Tummies in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, you're going to be lengthening your legs as much as you possibly can towards the ceiling. Doesn't matter if you've got that bend through the knee. Reach the hands up. We sit up for 8, 7, 6. Tummies in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set. 8, 7, 6. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relaxing there. Hug those knees in. When you're ready, take a full body stretch. Excuse me. Good. From here, we're going to come up to sitting. Remember to grab that drink if you need it. Okay, so we're doing the same stretch that we've been doing as well, and I'm going to be seated on my arc barrel, but you're seated on the floor unless you need to be raised up, just because of my hip. So, you're going to take a cross-legged position. So it doesn't matter if this cross-legged position is quite open, like my legs are here, or if you're able to get a really nice, neat, tight cross leg, as long as you have one leg in front of the other. So even in this really open position, I've got one leg over the top and one leg underneath. So we're going to be doing our walks forwards, concentrating on our breathing. Excuse me. So I really want you, I did bang on about it quite a lot in yesterday's session while we're doing this, to really think about just focusing on your breath, okay? Sorry if I keep looking at my watch, it's connected to my phone, so if I get an email or a message or anything, it buzzes, and apparently I'm really popular today. Anyway, so yeah, I'll talk you through, we're going to do both sides. Try and start with the side that you would not usually cross your legs. So the reverse way round, just because it's good to work that side a little bit more, as it tends to be the weaker one. So start sitting up nice and tall. We're not going to roll through, we're just going to hinge and lean forwards with your hands hopefully on the floor if you're at a lower position than me, and walk them to wherever it is that you can go. And I want you to just hold it there, and this is where you're going to start with that breathing. So just taking those nice deep breaths in and out. So if you can, take your breaths in and out, in through the nose and out through your mouth. Just because breathing in through your nose promotes that cleaning and warming of the air ready to come into your body. It doesn't matter if you've got a blocked nose from hay fever and you need to blow and breathe through your mouth, but try to, if you can, to get that nasal breath in. Force that breath out. If you're forcing through a pursed lip, you're automatically tightening deep in those lower tummy muscles. Here we're going to take that nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, walk those hands further forwards. Keep your head nice and dropped here. We're still taking our deep breaths in and out. So again, remembering we're trying to get our exhale to last longer than the inhale. So you can go for a 2-4, a 3-6, or a 4-8 if you want to. If you have any questions on those, you can drop me a message, but trying to get your breath out longer. So as you exhale, it should feel as though you're pushing air out until you have forced to breathe in again. So you're utilising all of that oxygen that you're pulling into the body. Take that nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, creep those hands further forwards. Just feel the rise and the fall in your body. That neck is feeling sore. Take an opportunity here to give it a little shake from side to side in the head. One nice deep breath in here. And just walking back in, sitting yourself up. Take a moment if you need to refocus, or if you're feeling lightheaded, if you're not used to that deep breathing. We're going to go again on the other side. I'm just going to turn to the side for a different viewpoint for you, if you need it. So you're uncrossing and recrossing your legs the other way. So this should be the side that you would naturally cross your legs on if you had the choice, if you did it how I told you to. Don't worry if not. So again, just make sure you've got one leg on top, one leg underneath. Doesn't matter how tight or loose that cross leg position is. From here, sitting up tall, just leaning forwards. If your hands are already on the floor, start to walk them as far forwards as you can. And you're holding here, dropping that head. Starting to take those nice deep breaths in and out. Breathing in and out. Nice deep breath in here. As you exhale, walk those hands forwards. Keep that head dropped. Deep breaths in and out. Really try and relax into that breathing. Just slowing everything down. Again, a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, walking those hands forwards. Keeping that head dropped. Just staying in this position to take those breaths. Feeling the rise and fall of your body. Breathing in. As you exhale, walking up, restacking. Just taking that moment if you need it to center yourself, especially if you're feeling dizzy. From there, when you're ready, I'll come off of this. We're going to bring ourselves into our frog stretch position. So, taking the soles of your feet together, trying to get those feet as close into your body as you can. Doesn't matter if they are quite far away, but as long as you're working to where you're able to go. And from here, I just want you to think about pushing down with those knees. So you don't need to use your hands. My hands were just resting there. So if I lift my arms up, think of lifting and then push really slowly down. So you're using the power of just your legs to push down. Lots of people find this hard because you're using muscles that you would not usually activate. So you push. Hopefully you can see it's quite a subtle movement I'm doing here because my legs are quite open. Pushing down and relax. Pushing down and relax. Relaxing there, take hold of the feet. Lean yourself forwards for your stretch. If you want to increase that stretch, you're pushing the elbows into those legs. Good, relaxing there. We're going to be on our hands and knees. We're going to work on arms and then on legs. If you want to use a weight for arms, then grab something quite light. I've got a 2 kilo kettlebell here, so you can use a kettlebell, dumbbell, wrist weights, can of baked beans. If you're not using or don't want to use a weight, that's fine. It doesn't matter. You'll still be able to work all of the muscles that you need to. Grab yourself a drink and all your weights if you need to. I'll just move this completely out of the way. So we're going to start with the arm one. We've done this before, quite recently, across the last couple of weeks. So we're doing a row, but it's just on a 4-point kneeling position. I'll show you face on and we'll go together. I'll talk you through it. We'll go together. We're going to do 10 on each side twice. So, in your position, you're just going to be in your usual 4-point kneeling, which is hands under the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. If you suffer from really bad wrists and you want to drop down to your forearms here, that's fine. You'll just have less movement. So just bear that in mind. So if I show you without and then with the weight. So what you're going to be doing is lifting your hand up towards your hip. So if I show you side on, the hand is going to lift to here and back down, just grazing the floor and lift. The reason I'm going to demonstrate front on is because if I want you to watch my elbow, that you almost shouldn't see it because it's so tucked in, up and down. So if you're using a weight, you'd be holding it here. So if you're not using a weight, it doesn't matter. What I want you to think about is as you're bringing this hand into your hip and your elbows pushing towards your side, you're nipping your shoulders in together. We're going to tighten the tummy the whole time, so you're still going to work through the top of your back. If you're not using a weight, it doesn't matter. So I'll do one side with a weight and one side without, 10 on each side, facing you, and then I'm going to do it side on as we go again in case you need that little cue. So take hold of the weight if you're using it. If not, doesn't matter. Choose which arm is your favourite, and that's the one that you're going to go first with. So we're going for 10. Excuse me. So we're going to be lifting up to that hip and down. Tuck that elbow in, lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Nipping in and down. Nice deep breaths. You're halfway. We're lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last two. Lift and down. Lift and down. So from there, swapping sides, so changing the weight if you need to. Same thing again, you're lifting up and down. Lift up and down. Nipping in and down. Tummy's tightened and down. So you're halfway here, lifting up and down. Up and down. We're lifting up and down. Last two, up and down. One more, up and down. Okay, so then we're going to I'm going to turn to my side, exactly the same thing. Here we go, 10 on your first side, lifting up and down, up and down. We're lifting up and down, tuck the elbow in and down, lifting up and down, halfway, lift and down, lift and down. You're squeezing in and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. Swapping sides to your last set of these. We're lifting up and down, up and down, lifting up and down, up and down. Deep breaths, lift and down, lift and down. Halfway, lift and down, lift and down. Nice breathing, lift and down. Last two, and down, and down. Relaxing there. Stretch back and roll those wrists if you need to. Good, we're going to be staying on our hands and knees. Grab a drink if you need one. And now we're working on the legs. So here you can just drop yourself down onto your forearms if you need to. I think I demoed this over the last couple of weeks on the forearms because that's when I had an injury to my wrist. So there's nothing wrong with being down into this position if you need to. Otherwise, you're still on nice long arms. So what we're going to be doing, it's called a donkey kick. It doesn't sound very glamorous. Excuse me, sorry. So what you're going to be doing is lifting one leg up from the floor, I'll show you this side, and pushing up towards the ceiling. So if you can, you want to be going to around 90 degrees. It doesn't matter if you're not able to do that. I'm certainly not because of my bad hip. But That's what we're aiming for. We're going to do 10 on one side, 10 on the other, short rest, 10 on one side, 10 on the other. Okay, so here we go. We're pushing up and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down, lift and down, lift and down. Halfway, lift and down, lift and down, lift and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. Other side, we're lifting up and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down, lift and down, lift and down. Halfway, lift and down, lift and down, lift and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. Let's take a little roll through those wrists if you need to. We're going to do each side again. So again, either on long arms or forearms. So here we go. Lifting up and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down, lift and down, lifting up and down. Halfway, lift and down, lift and down, lifting up and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. Swapping sides, lifting up and down, lift and down, lift and down, lift and down, lifting up and down. Halfway, lift and down, lift and down, lift and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. From there, pushing back, roll it through the wrists. So from here, we're staying on our hands and knees. We're going to all drop onto our forearms just to make sure those wrists are nice and strong for our planks. Tucking those toes under. As you breathe out, I'm going to pull the tummy all the way in, lifting your knees off of the floor, just an inch or so from the mat. Inhale down. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. So the tummy's lifting you here. Your hands and your feet are there for support. We're keeping the head in line, so we're looking down towards the mat, making sure you're not dropping the head or lifting the head up. 4 more here. We're lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2. We lift and down. Lift and down. From there, you're going to relax. Roll through those wrists. And we've got our planks. So same planks we've done all week. Doesn't matter if this is your first class of the week. So last week we did low plank lifting up to high. We're repeating that again, but then coming straight back down to our low plank. So I'll talk you through what we're doing and then we can all go together. You can join in with me if you want to. So you're going to step 1 foot back behind you, nice and long, and the weight goes into those toes. The other leg comes back to join it, and from there we're going to find our nice strong plank position. You're leaning all the way into one side to press one hand down. Push yourself back up. Holding here, and you've got that nice plank to take a breath in and out. Then you're going to step one hand down, the other hand down, strong plank. Breathing in and out and relaxing there. You keep going there. So remember to make sure that you're finding a really strong plank position in all 3 of the planks that you're going to be holding. So you're doing 3 planks in one, okay? Making sure that you're stepping your hand all the way underneath your shoulder. You should have in your low plank your forearm under your shoulder. You're going to step the hand back underneath to give you the right angle to push up. If last week you were only able to push halfway up and that was enough for you that you couldn't get all the way up, you're just going to hold that one there. Come back down to your low plank, it's your second plank. Come to the other side, down and then rest. So you're still getting that 3 ranges of planks, but also you're building up the strength in your upper body, which is what we want to be doing. Okay? Breathe. So make sure as you come into that low plank, you've already started to take nice deep breaths. That will help you as you find each position. Make sure that you take your bottom with you. So you should be in a nice long line in that low plank. As you come up into your high plank, don't let the bottom sink downwards, so that will put lots of pressure into your lower back. So come into that nice tall diagonal line, ready to move everything down with you as you go into your low plank. Okay, we're going to take 2 more here. Stepping back, strong plank position. We're leaning over, pushing up and up. Strong plank, breathing in and out. Come down and down. Strong plank, breathe in and out. Relaxing there. Ready to go again, stepping back, strong plank. Leaning over, step up and up, strong plank. Coming down, down, and relax. Well done, those planks are tough. It's a really, really good job. From there, after you've taken a nice stretch and rolled those wrists, bring yourself either into a knelt or a standing position, whichever you find the most comfortable. And we're going to go into our shoulder rolls back. Control that breathing if you're feeling a little bit out of breath. Roll the shoulders forwards. We're going to take those arms out to the sides. We're going to lift one arm all the way up and stretch over, so you're really lengthening this side of your body. Back to the centre of the side, lifting up and over. Back to the centre one more time each side. We lift up, we're stretching over. Last time, lifting up and over. And that is the end of today's session. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me for today and throughout the week. I hope you've enjoyed the classes. Let me know how you found them. Leave a comment below or drop me a message if you prefer. Especially if you have any questions. Sorry, I'm just changing positions. Especially if you have any questions on anything or any extras that you want me to include. I did mention this the other day, possibly in the middle of the week, that I'm just thinking about when realistically I'm going to be able to continue my sessions for. And I'm going to aim for 30 weeks. So that gives us 2 more months of classes. I'll obviously put something official out when I have made an exact decision, but people keep asking me, so I felt like I kind of needed to have a rough idea and put that out there. But I realised that not everybody watches every day, so some people might have missed me mentioning it. So I'll make a final decision, and that will be based more on
sort of like a rough guideline, and then that's where I'll aim for if I'm able to still teach in 8 weeks' time. But yeah, so I'll make a decision. If you have any questions on that, please ask me. I'll try and be as transparent as I can be about what's going on, but I'm probably just as uncertain as you guys. I hope you all have a really lovely day and a really lovely weekend, and I hope to see lots of you from Monday to Friday next week. Bye bye, take care.